Hello friends, welcome to one of my video in which I want to discuss about different sorting algorithms. So this is going to be a videos lecture series for 3 videos wherein I am going to discuss all the popular sorting algorithms. This is the first video lecture on sorting algorithms. We are going to discuss about how does the sorting algorithm works, how to improve the sorting algorithm, what is the complexity of each sorting algorithm, what is the best case input, what is the worst case input for the given sorting algorithm. So these are all things we are going to discuss in this particular series. This is my first lecture in this series, and here I am going to discuss about 3 sorting algorithms: bubble sort, insertion sort and selection sort. And we are going to discuss about what is the complexity of these algorithms, space complexity as well as the time complexity. Further, we can discuss about what input will be the best case, worst case. So let us start with this particular video. I am your course instructor. My name is Ram Godapi Patil. First of all, let us discuss about bubble sort. So a bubble sort is a simplest sorting algorithm that works by repeatedly swapping the adjacent elements if they are in wrong order. So what we want to do in the bubble sort is, whatever the array is there, whatever the elements of the array are there, we want to rearrange them. We want to rearrange them by using some selection criteria. And finally what is going to happen is, whatever the array will be there, given array will be there, it will be sorted. So let us see in what way they are repeatedly sorted. There is a particular way to do it, and let us see how it is done. So let us say this is an array, this is an array, this is an array with 5 indices. The indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this happens with your many of the programming languages. If you are using C language, C++ language, in that case the indices, this is an array index. This the first row of this one everywhere is an array index. So here this is array index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Assume that there are 5 elements and these are the 5 elements. Let us say 1, 5, 4, 2, 8. What happens over here is, in the bubble sort, what we do is we go on finding out the smallest element and we place it. We go on finding out the largest element and we try to place it at the last position. Then we find out the second largest element, we place it at the second largest location. Next, we find out the third largest element, we place it at the third last location, and we continue in this way, and finally we can get a sorted array. So bubble sort works in this way. So assume that this is the array 1, 5, 4, 2, 8. So what happens is, the first 2 elements, every time 2 consecutive elements are compared with each other, whichever is the larger will go to the later location. If we want to perform the sorting in ascending order. If you want to do it in descending order, then your intention will be different. You try to take the smallest element towards the extreme end. Okay, if you want to do it in the ascending order, so see here how it is happening. So first of all, the first location element and second location element, these are tested. Whichever is larger will go to the last location. So 1 is the last location now. So 5 will remain at the last location here. This is the second pass. In the second pass, 5 and 4 will be compared. Whichever is the larger will come towards the end. So 5 is larger than 4. Due to that, what will happen is 4 will come here and 5 will come to the next position. So what I am doing here is, in the first case you can observe here, this ith element was smaller than I plus first element. So whenever it is smaller, I am not altering it. But whenever I find that, so in the second case, the ith element is larger than the I plus 1th element. And here I am altering it. I am changing, I am swapping these values. So this is the second time. At the third time, this is pass 1. So what I am doing is, this is pass 1. Okay, in pass 1 what happens is, the largest element settles down at the last location. So next what happens is next two elements will be compared. Since 4 and 5 are compared together, now next one is 5 is here and next element is 2. Whichever is the smallest will come towards left hand side towards the initial indices, whichever is the larger will go to the larger indices. So here 5 and 2 are compared and they are exchanged together. So 2 will be coming here and 5 will be coming here. Finally 5 is going to be compared with the next element, and the next element is 8, which is larger. So what is happening here is 8 is being settled down at the last location. This is pass 1. So after at the end of the pass 1, your largest element will be at the last location. In pass 2, again we repeat the same things. 1 and 4 are compared together. The smaller one will remain towards the lower index location. The larger will move towards a larger index value. So it is not necessary to be moved here. Then in the next pass, 4 and 2 are passed, and now we find that 2 is smaller. So we have to swap here. In the next pass, 4 and 5. So 4 is smaller than 5 and it is towards the left hand side of 5. So there is no problem. Next, 5 and 8 are compared and 5 is less than 8 and it is towards the left hand side of 8. It should be there. Then now what has happened is after the second pass, we have placed the second largest element at the second last position. In the third pass, we will place third largest element at the third position, and it continues and we get the sorted array. For n values, we need to have n minus 1 passes. Rather, and each pass will have n you can say steps. Okay, so that will all come while we discuss about the complexity of bubble sort algorithm. Let us move ahead and let us try to discuss the pseudocode. In the pseudocode, what it shows is, so algorithm bubble sort, there is an array A and this array is of size n. What happens over here is, so what happens over here is, what we find is there is an array of size n and the size of the array is n. So here I am taking two variables I and j. These are the two counters. So here for I is equal to 1, I is less than n minus 1, so that n minus 1 passes. I was talking about n minus 1 passes, and I plus plus. And there is another loop. In these n minus 1 passes, we have n steps, and that is the n steps over here. Okay, and each time what I do is, if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, what we were doing is, we were comparing two consecutive elements. We are comparing 2 and 1, and if 2 is greater than 1, if it happens, then we have to exchange them, and in order to exchange them, so I am using this t is equal to a of j is equal to a of j plus 1, and a of j plus 1 is equal to t. This is a swapping method. Even you can do it by calling a function, and even there are different methods to do that. Okay, here I am utilizing for each swap 3 units of time. Here we are utilizing 3 units of time for this particular swapping. Now here, if we see this instruction, see this particular instruction, let me clear it so that we can write it properly. So yes, so how many times, now finding out the time complexity of this particular algorithm is, how many times this particular algorithm is going to work is for I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. So this particular algorithm executes for n minus 1 times, total n minus 1 times. So less than n minus 1, even though it is less than n minus 1, or it will be required to run it if you take it for n times, no problem. Then it will run for n plus 1 times. Okay, why n plus 1 times? For n times, if I am removing this n minus 1 from here, and we will discuss if this n minus 1 is as it is, then what is going to happen. So let us say now n minus 1 is not there, instead it is n only. So in that case, n plus 1 times this instruction is going to execute, wherein for n times the condition is going to be true and it is going to enter inside the block, and for once it is going to go outside the block. Go outside the block means it is going to exit. Again coming here, So again this is also going to execute for, so the control is going to come here for n times, and this instruction is going to execute for n plus 1 times, because here again n times for the correct condition, this condition, and once this condition is not going to satisfy, and control is jump outside the loop, going to jump outside the loop, that is n into n square, n plus 1. For this one it is n square time. This one is going to be executed for n square times, and execution of these three instructions will be depending on this instruction. So they will not be n square. Many people will tell you that they will be n square, but it will not be n square, but their execution depends on this particular condition. So for example, let us say if my given array, I will show you one example here. If my given array of 4 elements is containing 4 elements 1 2 3 4. So here a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. Whether it is greater than a of j plus 1, no, here these instructions will not be executed. Whereas here second and third are not again happening with this, so this will not be executed. So in this case, if there is a sorted array given, this all instructions are going to execute for 0 number of times. But if the input given is 4 3 2 1, let us do it for 4 3 2 1. Now what is happening is 4 is greater than 3, so these two are going to be exchanged. 3 will come here, 4 will come here, then 4 2, this is again greater, so 2 will come here, 4 will come here, and again 4 and 1 will be compared, 1 will come here and 4 will come here. So it means that all the exchanges are happening. It means that in that case it will be 3 into n square. 3 into n square. The control is going to come here for n square times. If for all the n square times this condition is true, this is going to go inside, and this statement is going to execute for n square times, this is going to execute for n square times, and this is going to execute for n square times. So how much time it is going to execute is, if I consider the 4 3 2 1 case wherein I wanted to sort the array in ascending order, but the given array is, I wanted to get the answer in the ascending order, but the given array is in the descending order. In that case I am requiring this plus all these. So it is 3n square plus n square, 4n square, this n into n is n square, so that is 5n square. 5n square, n into 1 is n plus n, 2n plus 1. So the complexity here is 2n plus 1. One complexity I am getting, and another complexity wherein if I give the sorted array, I want to sort it in ascending order, and a given input is in ascending order. In that case these instructions will not be executed, this will be 0, and in that case I get the equation 2n square plus 2n plus 1. So only this will be executed. So 2n square into this n square, 2n square, n into 1 n plus n, 2n plus 1. So this is 2n. So this is worst case, this is best case. Now I have given you that what is the best case input for bubble sort. If you want to sort it in ascending order and the input is in ascending order, this is best case. Okay, so best case. If the input is in descending order and if you want to sort it in ascending order, it is the worst case. Worst case input, we say that it is best case input, and this is worst case input. If you want to sort in descending order and input is descending order, it is the best case. If you want to sort in descending order and the input is in ascending order, then it is the worst case. So this is about the time complexity. I am going to tell you about how it can be represented in big O, how it can be represented in omega and all. So another thing is, what is the time complexity of this algorithm? So what is the space complexity of this algorithm? So space required is, for array A, n amount of space is required. For n, 1 amount of space is required. For ij, 1 amount of space is one each is required. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and for t, 1 amount of space is required. So it is necessary to declare the t here, int ijt. So for t, 1 is required. So total amount of space required here is n plus 4. Sp is equal to n plus 4, and t in worst case, time worst case is 5n square plus 2n plus 1, and t best case is 2n square plus 2n plus 1. Let us move ahead. So let me show you another thing here. White screen. Let me take a white screen. So here, as I told, two things to be noted. One thing is that if the input is ascending order, you want to do it in ascending order, it is the best case. If the input is descending order, you want to do in the ascending order, it is the worst case. So we should take care of that particular thing. So this is about the bubble sort. One thing to be noted about the bubble sort is it can be whatever the bubble sort we have discussed, it can be further modified. Okay, so let us try to discuss. Let us 1 minute. So let us try to explore this bubble sort in more better way. So one thing is, I was telling that the worst case complexity of bubble sort is 5n square plus 2n plus 1. So if you want to represent this one into the worst case complexity, in that case, so this is going to be, so this, if this is f of n, this f of n will be always less than equal to 6 into n square, where 6 is c and n square is g of n. So you can go through my definition of big O notation. What we say is f of n is equal to big O of g of n if and only if f of n is always less than equal to c into g of n. So if I take c into g, c is equal to 6, g of n is equal to n square. So for some values of n is equal to 4, n greater than or equal to 4, this function will always satisfy. This particular function will always satisfy. And that means that I can say that the complexity of this bubble sort in worst case is big O of n square. In the worst case also I am getting the equation 2n square plus 2n plus 1, even though this is less than this, but it grows in terms of n square only. So in the best case I can say that it is omega of n square. So if I plot a graph here, what you can do is the best case, best case is in between 2n square plus 2n plus 1 to this particular bubble sort. Range of the bubble sort is 2n square plus 2n plus 1 to 5n square plus 2n plus 1. Your any other algorithm will your any other input for this particular bubble sort, any other input will, the time required will be in between these two only, in between 2n square plus 2n plus 1 to 5n square plus 2n plus 1. Let us move ahead and let us try to discuss the algorithm. So here is the pseudocode for the bubble sort. Okay, so that we have already seen this particular pseudocode previously over here. So I'm sorry. So this one is done, and what modification can be done into the bubble sort is, so in the previous case, once the largest number is placed at the last position, okay, we were comparing this one, the second last element, with the last position, but we know that this is already placed. So instead of at the end comparing this second last element with the last element, we can stop here only. Now at the second pass, second last element is placed at the second last location. Now we can apply our sorting method in this area only. So from index 0 to 2. So when this 4 is placed at the third last position, we can apply it between first two positions only. And what can happen due to that is, here we were in the last case we were doing 5 comparisons, we are doing 5 comparisons, we are doing 5 comparisons, and we are doing 5 comparisons. Instead of that, now we are doing 5 comparisons, 4 comparisons, 3 comparisons, and 2 comparisons. So instead of 20 comparisons, now we are doing 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 3 12, 12 plus 3 12 plus 2 14. This is for n is equal to 5. For n larger value, this value will drastically change. So we can do the modification in our program. So this will be the modification, that is, for I is equal to 0, I less than n minus 1, I plus plus, the outer loop will remain as it is, but the inner loop can be changed. So instead of keeping it j less than n, we can keep it as j less than n minus I minus 1, so that the last element which is at the appropriate position can be eliminated from comparison. In the second pass, second last element, after second last element, we need not to do the exercise. So in this case, if you see the complexity, this statement executes for n plus 1 times, whereas this statement for the first time it executes for n times. In the second pass it executes for n minus 1 times. In the third pass it executes for n minus 2 times, and at the end it executes for 1 times. And the same happens with this also. Only one instruction is less over here. So for the first time it is executing for n times, in that case what is going to happen is n plus 1 times it is going to enter. So in the first case n minus 1 times it will be executed. Next one is n minus 2 times, next one is n minus 3 times, and so on up to 1. So if we will solve this equation, what we get is, this is some sum of series from n to 1. So we get it is equal to n into n minus 1, sorry, n into n plus 1 divided by 2, and this one is n minus 1 multiplied by n minus 1 plus 1 will be n divided by 2, and these will be executed for same number of times in worst case, and these will be executed for 0 number of times in the best case, as we have already discussed. So what will be the complexity of this particular algorithm? Modified bubble sort algorithm. I say that it is improved bubble sort algorithm. So it is, let me write it here, it is n square by 2 minus n by 2, this one, expanding this. Then in the best case I am writing, so I am considering this as 0. Whenever necessary, in the worst case I will consider this appropriately. Then now it is n square by 2, so it is plus n square by 2 plus n by 2 plus n plus 1. This is n plus 1. This is for n plus 1. So what happens is, n by 2 and minus n by 2 are gone, and n square by 2 becomes 2n square by 2 plus, it is 2n square by 2 plus n plus 1. So this one will be better than 2n square plus 2n plus 1, because it is 2n square divided by 2, division factor. So it becomes n square plus n plus 1, and it is, you can say it is doubled. The speed is now doubled. 2n square and 2n speed is doubled here. This is in case of worst case. In case of best case, this one will be executed for 3 number of times, because these 3 instructions are executed as this condition satisfies, or assume that this condition satisfies for all cases. So in that case, what equation we will get is, we will get so this multiplied by 4, this multiplied by 4, because this is 1 and this 3. So the equation will be here 4 into n square by 2 minus 4 into n by 2 plus n square by 2 minus n by this is plus n by 2, this one, expanding this one, I am getting these two expressions, and plus n plus 1. So if we expand this, so this is the best case, time in the best case. Time in the worst case, let me write it here, time in the worst case is equal to, so 4n square plus n square by 2, that is 5n square by 2, then minus 4n plus n, that is minus 3n by 2 plus n, so plus 1. So this is in the worst case. In the worst case also, my previous equation was 5n square plus 2n plus 1. So the maximum growing function is n square and its multiplication factor was 5. Now it is 5 by 2. It is 5 by 2, and again we are subtracting something out of it. Here we are only adding to this. So this is a better function. So we say that this is a bubble sort which is improved. We can say that it is improved version of the bubble sort. So this is about the bubble sort. Let us move ahead and let us try to discuss about another algorithm that is called as a selection sort. Now there is some difference. Now the bubble sort, selection sort are called as brute force algorithms of sorting, but there is a difference. So let us try to understand this particular sorting technique. So a selection sort algorithm sorts an array by repeatedly finding out a minimum element from the unsorted part and putting it at the beginning. In the bubble sort, what we were doing is, we were finding out the largest element and we were putting it at the last position. Now we are trying to find out the smallest element in an array and try to put it at the first beginning. Then if this is done, then do it for second location. If this is done, do it for third location. If this is done, do it for fourth location up to the end. In every iteration of the selection sort, the minimum element from the unsorted array is picked and moved to the sorted subarray. So whenever an array is given, this array initially will be divided into two parts. So initially first part is having 0 elements and second part is having n elements. These n elements are unsorted. So at the first pass, what happens is, smallest element is taken and it is placed at the first location, and this becomes the first part. Now this is the division. So one element, then in the next pass 2 elements, next pass 3 elements, and it continues up to there are 0 elements remaining in the second subarray. So let us try to understand this one, the selection sort algorithm. So here what does happens in the selection sort algorithm is we try to put the smallest element at the lowest index. Okay, so this is the given array. Now what I do is I compare 1 with 5. Whichever is smaller will come towards the smaller index. So since 5 is not smaller, it will be kept as it is. Then in the next case I am going to compare this 1 with other elements. So 1 will be compared with next element now in the second step. In the third step, whichever is smaller will come at this location, and in next step it will be 1 will be compared with the next element. 1 will be compared with 8. Whichever is smallest, in that case the swapping will be done. Suppose if there is a -1 over here, so in that case, in this comparison, what will happen is -1 will come here and this 1 will come here. So that swapping will be taken place. So for 5 will be compared with 4. So then this 4 will remain the smallest one now. Then this 4 will be compared with 2. 2 is the smallest now. 2 will be compared with 8. 2 is the smallest. This 2 will come to the index 2 at the second pass. So this is second pass, means at index 2 this 2 will come. So this exchange has been done. Okay. Whatever this particular algorithm is there, this is not this one. So here in this particular selection sort, some people write this selection sort, and here what happens is suppose this is let us say the array 4 2 1 5 3 6 4. If this is the array, let us say 6 7. So in that case 4 and 2 are compared, exchange will be done. 2 will come here and 4 will come and 1 will be here. Then this 2 will be compared with 1 and 1 will come here, 2 will come here. So every comparison, at every comparison the swapping will be done. So let us discuss that also, and let us try to know what will be the change in the complexity if you are using this method or if you are using the previous method. So here this particular algorithm is going to be executed. So now here it is less than equal to n, same changes are to be done in bubble sort also. Over there also you have to make it less than equal to n. So this one is going to execute for n plus 1 times. N times the control is going to go inside this loop, and 1 times it is going to jump outside the loop for the wrong condition. This is not going to satisfy in that case. Similarly for this is from j is equal to 1 to n. So j is equal to 1 to n means it is n minus 1 times control goes inside this, and once the control, this condition does not satisfy and control jumps outside the loop, that means that this is going to be executed for n times, but this is going to be called for n times. It is n into n, that is equal to n square times. Okay, and the control from here to here, now this instruction, the control here is going to come for n into n minus 1 times. And here also it is going to come for n into n minus 1 times. So these are 3 statements. So they will be 3 into n minus 1 times. If at all this condition becomes true always, this instructions will be executed. If this condition becomes false always, in that case these instructions will be executed for 0 number of times. And whatever the any of your input will be there, it will be taking 0 number of instructions executed over here. Highest is 3 into n minus 1. So if we try to find out the particular equation, so it will be 3 into n, it will be 3n square minus 3n. This one is n into n minus 1, so that is plus n square minus n. Then this is n square plus n square plus n plus 1. This overall comes to be 3n square plus n square plus n square, 5n square minus 3n minus n and n. So minus n and n is gone, let us say, remaining is minus 3n and plus 1. You can compare it with the bubble sort. In case of bubble sort, it was 5n square plus 2n plus 1, and you can say that which one of these two is better. Even though you can find that this selection sort is working somewhat better than bubble sort. It is not totally overtaking this, but it is working somewhat. You cannot say that it is, yes, it is very much faster than bubble sort, no, but it is taking somewhat this one. Why it is happening is, in bubble sort we started here with 0, we are starting here with 1. Only this is the difference. Whereas if these instructions are not at all executed, in that case what is going to happen is, this is not going to happen. In that case it will be n square minus n, then the plus n square, then plus n plus 1, minus n and plus n go. So the equation we get is 2n square plus 1. This is this is minimum number of instructions executed, and this is maximum number of instructions executed. Let us try to discuss when minimum and when maximum. Let us say whenever this particular instruction is satisfied at every time, at that time this will happen, and whenever this instruction is not satisfied any time at that time, it is 2n square plus 1. Again, it is better than that previous bubble sort. So how it is possible? Let us say if you give a sorted array, you want to sort the program array in the ascending order, and the input is in ascending order. So this is not going to satisfy this condition. If a of I is less than a of j is less than a of I, this is not at all going to satisfy, because the elements towards the higher indices will be having larger values than the values at the lower indices. So this will not satisfy. So if you want to sort it in ascending order and the input is in ascending order, this is the best case. And for best case, these much number of comparisons will be required, that is 2n square plus 1. If you want to sort it in ascending order and the input is in descending order, every time this is going to satisfy, and you have to do the exchange. Whenever you are doing the exchange, at that time the number of instructions executed are 5n square minus 3n plus 1. So what is the best case input for selection sort? Again, sorted array. Sorted. Which sorted? If you want to sort in ascending order, input is also at ascending order, it is the best case. Worst case is you want to sort in ascending order and the input is given in descending order. In that case, it is the worst case. And the time for worst case is given here. Time for worst case is 5n square minus 3n plus 1, and the time for the best case is 2n square plus 1. Best case means the time required is less. Best case means it should be the time required is lesser. So let us move ahead and let us try to do some modification into the selection sort. So here what we are doing is, we are doing it from, every time we are doing it from j is equal to 1. Instead of doing it from j is equal to 1 over here, so this is compared with this is compared with this is compared with this, every time it is starting from j is equal to 1. So instead of doing this, if we know that the first element is at its appropriate position after first pass, why it is needed to come back again to the first location? Start it from the second location. After the second location, you find that the second smallest location is at the second position. Do it from the third position in the third pass. That is, then if it is at the third pass, if the third smallest element is at the third location, next in the next pass, do it from the next appropriate location. So I am making necessary changes here. What are the changes? Here you can observe here that I started with j is equal to 1, and here I am starting with the outer for loop is as it is. I am starting here. Now here it is less than equal to n plus 1. Now here what I am doing is I am changing it to I plus 1. I am changing it to I plus 1. So because after the first pass, if you have 5 elements, let us say 4, 2, 1, 9, 3. After the first part, first element will be at the appropriate position. Okay, so it could be anything, 2, then 4, 9, 3, and then we have to do the comparisons of a of j, from second position, that is I plus 1. Okay, so that's the reason that I am making this appropriate changes. And what will be the change in the complexity of the algorithms? This is going to be executed for n plus 1 times as previously discussed. Then this one, for the first time it is going to be executed for n times, n minus 1 times initially. It is going to go inside, and for others it is going to, for 1 times it is going to jump outside. Second time it is going to execute for n minus 1 times. Third time it is going to execute for n minus 2 times, and it happens up to n times, wherein at the end it is executing for only once, wherein the jump is, we are going to jump outside. So if you solve this equation, what we get again is, we get n into n plus 1 divided by 2. About this, so every time for the first time, whenever it is executing for n times, the control is going to come here for this a for n minus 1 times, second time n minus 2 times, third time n minus 3 times. If you add all these, we get an equation for this if statement, as n into n minus 1 divided by 2, and the same for these three. If at all these conditions satisfy for every time, at that time it will be 3n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So overall, and otherwise it is 0. Sometimes it can be 0 also. In the best case it will be 0, as discussed in the previous one. So what equation we get is time for worst case is equal to 3n square by 2 minus 3n by 2, 3n into n. Then this is n square by 2 plus n square by 2 minus n by 2, this one. Then here it is plus n square by 2 plus n by 2, and this is n plus 1 plus n plus 1. So this comes to be 3n square and n square, 4n square and this n square, 5n square by 2 plus minus 3n square and minus 3 and minus n will be minus 4 plus n will be 3n by 2 plus n. This will be not plus, this will be minus plus 1. This will be the time complexity in the worst case. In this particular modified one, this will be the worst case. In the best case, let me write time required in the best case over here, wherein this will be 0. So remaining part, so even if you will subtract 3n by, or let us write it here, so it is n square by 2 minus n by 2 plus n square by 2 minus plus n by 2, this one, adding this one, and plus n plus 1. So what we get is, we get n square by 2, n square by 2, it is 2n square by 2. This n minus 2 is gone, so remaining is n plus 1. This is in the best case. Again, we can do another modification. Instead of swapping it every time, we can find out the minimum index. We can find out the minimum index, and we can keep a watch about the minimum index, and whatever is the minimum index that can be swapped with the ith element. That minimum index can be brought to the ith element, and whatever the ith element is there, that can be transferred to the location where minimum index value is there. So again, this will save your more time. So this is the best modified selection sort algorithm. What is the best case input for selection sort? So if you want to sort in ascending order, input is in ascending order, this is the best one. Okay, if you want to sort in ascending order and input is descending order, or vice versa, then it is worst case input. So this is the third one, wherein we are identifying the smallest element and its index, and finally we are trying to put the smallest index to the appropriate position. So this is all about the selection sort. Let us move on to the insertion sort. So in the insertion sort, what happens is the insertion sort places the next value in array at its appropriate position. What does it mean is, let us say this is the sorted array. You go on, so you have given n number of values. So let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, and other values are minus 8, which it is not sorted now. Minus 8, minus 7, 15, 17, 16, and let us say another value 6. Okay, now what it does is, this insertion sort go on creating a sorted array. So whatever the element it go on putting it into the sorted manner only, and it reads the next value is minus 8. It checks where it can be put. So it is needed to be put it at the first position. So in that case, what it does is, it moves all the elements to the next locations, and it will put minus 8 over here, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Next element is minus 7. So minus 7, it will move this one to the next location. So 4 will come here, 3 will come here, 2 will come here, 1 will come here, minus 7 will come here and minus 8 will remain as it is over here, because minus 8 is now the smallest one. Next element is 15. Now it compares this 15 with the last element. If this is last element is less than 15, in that case it will place it at the last position. 17 will be compared with the last element and it will be placed at the last location. So in this way it works. As we play the cards, wherein we go on putting the cards at the appropriate position, in the same way this particular insertion sort works. So it is just like a way we play the card, where we place each card at its appropriate position by shifting the other cards. How does the algorithm works is, to sort an array of size n in the ascending order, iteration from a of 1 to a of n over the array, then compare the current element to its predecessor, that is current. Suppose if you are now if this is the current array now, so compare it with 16, this one 16, for 16, so 16 cannot be placed here. Identify how many number of elements are needed to be replaced at the next appropriate location. So put them, shift the elements and put the next incoming value at the appropriate position. So here this particular diagram shows that how does it works. So let us say this is the array has 8 indices and these are the elements 5, 4, 6, 2, 3, 8, 7, 1. So in the pass one, so this is the initial array. In the pass one, there are two parts here. There is one sorted part and there is one unsorted part. Okay, so what happens is, in the first part is, the first element is at the sorted look, the first element is sorted. So this is the sorted array and this is the unsorted array. So what it does is, it compares the first element of the unsorted array with the last element of the sorted array. So if it finds that this is the current element is smaller, then it will shift this values to the next location. That is, 5 is shifted at the next location and this 4 is placed at the previous value. Now there are two parts. So this side, the left hand side is sorted part, right hand side is unsorted part. It will take one key element, next key element, and it will try to put it into the sorted part. While putting it into the sorted part, it will try to put it at the appropriate position. So while putting, what it finds is this particular 6 should be placed at the last position only. So now this becomes the sorted boundary of sorted and unsorted array. So now next element is 2. Then it checks whether this 2 is can be placed over. Is it necessary to shift all these elements? Yes. 6 is needed to be shifted, 5 is needed to be shifted, 4 is needed to be shifted. So what it does is, it shifts all these elements to the next location and 2 will be put into over here. And in this next element is 3, and this is the boundary. This is sorted, this is unsorted. Left hand side is towards left hand side sorted part, towards right hand side unsorted part. Now 3 will be checked for appropriate location and 3 will be placed here. So only those elements will be shifted which are larger than new incoming key. So it is continue for 8 different paths and you will get the sorted array. So let us see the algorithm, insertion sort algorithm. So here we require, so now space complexity is again same as bubble sort and this one. There is no much difference. So array will require n amount of space, n will require 1 amount of space, I will require 1 amount of space, key will require 1 amount of space, j will require 1 amount of space, and if there is any temporary value, then that will require 1. So here it is n plus 4. This is the time complexity. This is the space complexity, I am sorry. For time complexity, so this is a for loop. So it executes for I is equal to 1 to n. So I is equal to 1 to n means it want to compare the first element with the 0th element. Okay, so that is then here j is equal to I minus 1. So it is, so I is, so if this is the array, let me show the array. So let us say if there is an array, this is the array. So this is first position, this is second position. So what I am doing is, I is considered at the second position and I will be pointing here and j will be pointing to I minus 1. So j will be pointing here. Okay, and then we are going to check whether it is needed to shift all the values which are left hand side, which are towards left hand side of j. Okay, so key is equal to array I. Key is equal to array I means key is equal to 4 now. Key is equal to 4 and j is equal to I minus 1. J is pointing here. And what is being done in the next part is, move elements of array 0 to I minus 1 that are greater than key to one position ahead of the current position. If it is not necessary to move, don't move it. So this part will take care of moving the array, and at appropriate location, array of j plus 1, this key element will be placed. So let us try to do it by considering an example. Let us say this is the array of 4 elements. So let us say out of that 4 elements, first and second element have been already placed, and the third element is -3 and fourth element is 4. Let us say -4, and fifth element is -5. So first two elements have been already placed. Okay, so currently we are at this position. This is I, and j is equal to I minus 1. So now here what we want to do is we want to check how many elements are needed to be shifted. So key is equal to array of I. So I is here, so this becomes key. Key is equal to -3. Okay, and what is being done here? While j is greater than 0, j is 1 and this is 0 index. So j is greater than 0 or equal to 0, and array of j is greater than key. So this is greater than key. So if it happens, array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j. So that is, this is shifted towards right hand side. So 2 will come here. Similarly, j is equal to j minus 1. Now j will be here. Again compare jth element with the key element. Key is again smaller. So this one will also be shifted here. And finally, j becomes -1, and that is, this condition dissatisfies. So due to that, we'll come outside, and array of j plus 1, j is have become -1, -1 plus 1 is 0. So that -3 will be placed here. Sometimes it may happen that you have placed -3 and now here is a -2, let us say. So in that case, only these two elements are to be sorted, and in that case this array, this condition will not satisfy, and due to that you will come outside and this value will be placed. Let us try to analyze this particular algorithm. Let me clear it. So this happens for n plus 1 times, this happens for once, n times, this happens for n times, this also happens for n times. Then this one, while j is greater than this is going to happen, this is going to be compared for n times, okay, and the control is going to come here for n times. Okay, actually it will be like for the first time it will be only one element, for the second time it will be 2 elements, for the third time it will be 3 elements, for nth time it will be n comparisons. So it will be, this equation here you will get is n into n plus 1 divided by 2, and the control is going to come inside this, depending on, based on this. So maximum number of time the control is going to come here is this much number of time. Since there are 2 instructions, so it will be 2 into n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, so this is very much important. Then this is going to happen for n times. So total complexity that we get is 2 into n square plus n square, 3n square. In the worst case I am talking about 3n square. Then n by 2 and 2n by 2 is 3n by 2 plus 3n by 2. Then plus this n and this n, 4n plus 4n plus 1. This is in the worst case. Time for worst case. Okay. In the best case, what is going to happen is, this is not at all going to happen. This will not happen. Means none of the time this condition will be happening. That means that this whole including the whole while loop, it becomes 0. If it is becomes 0, what is remaining? This n, 4n plus 1, 4n plus 1. So see here the difference, n square and it is n. In all the previous 3 sorting techniques, we have found that best case is n square, worst case is n square for bubble sort. For selection sort, it is also n square. For insertion sort, worst case is n square, but the best case is in terms of n. Let us try to know what is the best case input and what is the worst case input for insertion sort. In the insertion sort, if you want to do the sorting in ascending order, and if your input is descending order, in that case every element is to be, every time you need to shift the elements towards the right hand side. So that is the worst case input for you. For the, if you want to do it in ascending order, and if the input is in ascending order, let me show you one example here. If the given values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are the 6 values. This is a given array and you want to sort it in the ascending order. There is no need to shift. First element will be placed here only, second element will be placed here only, because all the previous elements are less than 2. All the previous, for the third element, all the elements, previous elements are less than 3, it will be placed here only. So there will be no exchanging hoppers and only n comparisons are required here. Only n amount of time is required here. So the algorithm which is having the complexity n in its best case is insertion sort. This is a gate question. This is a gate question. This is the only algorithm which is having the complexity n in its best case. So friends, always remember this insertion sort is the only algorithm. This is the only algorithm which is having the complexity of sorting the array in only n time complexity. There is no other algorithm, and that too is in the only in the best case. That too only in the best case. All the algorithms are having the complexity greater than n, even in the best case. Even in the best case also they are having, any other algorithm is having more complexity as compared to n. So this is the only algorithm, remember. So this is all about insertion sort. So this particular session ends here. Intentionally I have kept only the first 3 algorithms in the first lecture. In the next lecture I will discuss about the merge sort and try to discuss about the quick sort. The merge sort and quick sort are the 2 divide and conquer methodologies. So I am going to keep them in a single video. And after that we will discuss about radix sort and heap sort. The outcome of this particular video is what are the different complexities of different algorithms. If you want to study, so bubble sort is having worst case complexity is n square, and the equation you should remember, it is 5n square plus 2n plus 1. It is not necessary to remember the equation. In the bubble sort, for the bubble sort, worst case complexity is n square, best case complexity is n square. For selection sort, even we have seen many of the changes, many updations, modifications in bubble sort as well as in the selection sort, and we have tried to improve the performance of these two. And what we found is the worst case complexity of the selection sort is n square, and the best case complexity of selection sort is also n square. Rather here the equation was different to n square in terms of. The insertion sort is having the worst case complexity n square, but the best case complexity is n in case of insertion sort. So which is the best algorithm to sort an array in which the input array is sorted in the ascending order, and you want to sort the particular array in the ascending order, which is the best possible sorting algorithm? So it is insertion sort. Always apply the insertion sort to this. Okay, these are the 3 things about the insertion sort, about the 3 sorting algorithms. For the bubble sort, for all these 3 algorithms, best case is ascending order. If you want to sort it in ascending order and input given is in ascending order, for all these is the best case. For all these 3 cases, if you want to sort the ascending order and input given in descending order, all are the worst cases. If you reverse here, that is also worst case. That is, if you want to sort the array in the descending order and the input given is in ascending order, worst case. If you want to sort it in descending order and input given in descending order, this is the best case. So these are the some basic terminologies about the algorithms. The main intention in this particular lecture was to discuss about the algorithm, about their time complexity, and about the best case and worst case of that best case input and worst case input for that particular algorithm. So with this, thank you friends for listening to my lectures.